Hello everyone, welcome to another lesson of the uses of the subjunctive with noun clauses. Today we're going to do a quick summary of the uses that we have seen, and we're going to learn how to use the subjunctive with verbs of emotion. So let's begin. So far we have seen that we have used the subjunctive in noun clauses with first verbs of will or influence. And what they do is they help us express wishes, such as, for example, the verb desear or esperar. These are verbs that trigger the subjunctive. And in the use of will and influence, we can also receive recommendations. And for example, with verbs like sugerir or proponer. So let's take a look at, again, how to form the subjunctive in noun clauses when we want to express wishes, preference, or give recommendations. So, as I already mentioned, these are verbs of will and influence. And the way it works is we have a subject one with one of those verbs of will and influence, and they take the form of the indicative. We have a subject number two, and the verb then takes the form of the subjunctive. So, for example, insisto en que destruyan los clones. So, insisto is my subject one, which is the form of yo, and that is one of the verbs of will of influence and is in the indicative, followed by the conjunction que, and then is followed by the second subject, which is ustedes in this case, and then destruyan would be the verb in subjunctive. The equivalent in English is I insist that you destroy the clones. So the second use that we have seen is with impersonal expressions. An impersonal expression is basically the expression it is followed by an adjective. And the clause that comes after this expression requires a subject followed by a verb in subjunctive. So for example, if I say, es importante que cuidemos el medio ambiente, es importante is my impersonal expression, followed by the conjunction que, and then the subject, which in this case is nosotros, and then the verb in subjunctive, which it will be cuidemos. The equivalent in English will be it's important that we take care of the environment. So now we're going to learn about how to use the subjunctive with verbs of emotion. And every time we want to express our feelings about something, then that triggers the subjunctive. And it follows exactly the same structure as with verbs with will of influence. So there's a subject one, there's a verb of emotion, in this case, in the indicative, followed by a que, and then a second subject, and the verb that follows is in the subjunctive. So now let's take a look at the most common verbs and expressions of emotion. So alegrarse, to get happy, es bueno, es malo, it's good, it's bad, es crucial, it's important, it's imperative, it is crucial basically, es fácil or difícil, es una lástima, it's a pity. Es mejor, it's better. Es peor, it's worse. Es preciso. Sentir, to feel. Temer, to fear. Tener miedo. Enojarse, to get angry. Sorprenderse, to get surprised. Preocuparse, to get worried. So let's take a look at a couple of examples. Me alegra de que llueva en California. So, me alegra is my verb of emotion, and the subject is yo, but because it's a reflexive verb, then the pronoun is me. And then my second subject is the rain, which is a verb at the same time, so then that verb is in the subjunctive. Es bueno que conservemos energía. Es bueno is my expression of emotion. And then conservemos, the subject in this case will be nosotros, and the verb is in subjunctive. So in sum, we use the subjunctive in noun clauses. 1, with verbs of will and influence to express wishes, desires, or recommendations. 2, with impersonal expressions. And 3, with verbs or expressions of emotion. Anything that expresses our emotions and has 2 different subjects, that triggers the subjunctive. Okay? And that's it for today.